and doesn't feel right, you know. So I stand by what I said in every video, but I think it's about time I come out. And there was a comment on one of my videos because I hadn't exactly made these two last videos that I was gonna make. Um, it's been busy. We've had a water line break at our house, so I have not been able to get on as much and make videos like I want to, and my quality's kind of calmed down just a little bit. Um, but these two videos were supposed to get out. The where I stand on Saint Under Rage and my apology video. They were supposed to be out yesterday, but our water main broke. Um, which sucks. Uh, there's a comment that was made on my channel that kind of got included into where I got where I stand on Saint Under Rage and Lono and what specifically happened to him. Um, so I had to include that. Um, so just so everyone out know, this isn't backpedaling. This isn't none of that. This is me coming out here and apologizing to Lono because that first day, I'm not gonna lie, I did think he did those things, just like everybody else, and just like Boy Astacross, uh, Astacross also made a video, and it was more of a tweet, and it was open-ended on purpose. And said, wow, this is not like, if that's true, it's not good. And then I made a video seeing what happened. Um, I'm gonna apologize for day one. When I look at what I said, I still absolutely think what was happened to BSK and Bomb Squad Kittens and that Discord server, all of those guys, that no, those guys aren't getting the apology that Lono's getting. The Lono's getting the apology based off of the evidence that he's provided. Um, that's he's getting the apology. I still will not support sexual harassment, racism, hate, and all of that. No, it will not be supported. But I didn't do the research with Lono because it's just kind of happened all in one day. And I'm not married. I'm a single man, so my situation is different. But it's like, how many times have I flirted with somebody, and you know, they either like it or don't? And it's like, you think about this, and it's like, well, what happens if you're married? What is right and what is not? Well, one, I wouldn't be talking to women in any sort of flirtatious manner. That's for one. It's still what he did, and the comments he made were very inappropriate, and he knows that. I don't need to say that anymore. So he knows what he did was wrong. And as a Christian, I mean, like, what happened when David slept with Bathsheba, which this is kind of where I'm going with this, so just listen to this before you jump to conclusions. David slept with Bathsheba and had her husband killed. But and then, yeah, the relevance to this and to what happened with uh, Lono is that, I mean, he knows the comments he made was wrong. Did he sleep with anybody? No, he didn't sleep with anybody. He didn't. So none of that has to do with that. But my point is that God showed grace to David over his failing. When Peter renounced Jesus, when who else? Doubting Thomas, Noah when he got drunk, uh, Moses when he got angry. Um, you know, I'm showing grace because I'm not better. Everybody needs Jesus. I'm reacting to this as a Christian man, and he was accused of some dirty stuff. And it turned out it was wrong. And he provided the evidence for that, and he's going to court. So I think a lot more people need to make these videos saying that they're wrong. I was wrong in lumping him with the rest, like with BSK. That's where I was wrong. I was wrong there. I wasn't wrong in disagreeing with what he said as a married man. That's not what I was wrong in. But I was wrong in lumping him in the rest, because what he did and what they did, completely separate issues. They actually were trading around nudes, BSK. Where Lono, he didn't do any of that. And there is sufficient evidence for proving that in his video. Huge amount of evidence. It's hour long. So I recommend people go to that channel and go to Say No to Drake channel and look at that video. So, in light of recent events, I am making these videos. Sure, it's a little bit late. My next video, which I will make shortly, is a declaration of what my channel stands for. So yeah, it's crazy with the way these things handed out, and I'm a survivor, so I sympathize with those that were truly wronged, like what happened with BSK and stuff like that. But the and sexual harassment. But see, the thing about sexual harassment is anything, you literally, because people are different. Sexual harassment's a touchy thing because you don't even have to physically do anything. You can just say something sexual and that person can get offended by it. And I won't apologize for supporting the women that say they've been sexually harassed. I won't apologize because I do support the women that say that. But I don't support the idea that everybody is telling the truth, because that's also a lie. Not everyone is telling the truth. Some people are just looking for clout. Some people are just looking for views. Some people say, "Oh, I was sexually harassed," and not all survivors tell the truth. There is evidence, and there's of people being accused of rape, and they're convicted on this, and then years later, the victim says, "Hey, I'm not a victim. Actually, I was lying." And this is why we need to just wait. I was looking at comments, and we need to just wait. People need to learn to wait before all evidences are gathered. Both sides. You can't just take one side. And I hope Bungie reaches out to Lono in some way. I don't know how people are going to take this video. It's crazy. It's just, I'm sitting here thinking of it now, and it's like, I'm glad that I made my previous videos, what I did, like a week ago. Like, I'm glad I made those, because people will know that's where I stand. But you really have to cover everything you say nowadays. Every single thing that you say, you have to immediately say, this is what I mean and don't mean, because people just jump to conclusions. That's why I made the previous video. It's like, what do I need to apologize for? The one thing I will apologize for is lumping him in with BSK. That's what I will apologize for, because I was actually thinking of that just now. That's what I am apologizing for. When BSK, dude, they were caught red-handed, dirty, and they actually physically were caught. They were, yeah. So, my thoughts are all over the place. This is just, This is an emotional video because there's a lot of emotion tied to this. I have personal family and friends that have suffered from um, sexual harassment and rape and stuff like that. So and being used. So this kind of hits closer to home. So I guess that's why I reacted the way I did, is because this hits closer to home. Just like abuse victims, it hits closer to home as I was abused and stuff like that. So I mean, as far as everything else, I mean, the community has to wait when making this. There's a due process system for a reason, um, and sometimes it fails. But the the best way to gather information is to gather both sides of the story. My friend Ashley, she's great. So me and my buddy Skylar, and it's her fiance, we got into an argument one time. It was a nasty one. So Ashley listened to both sides of our story, and she said, "You're wrong for this, and you're wrong for this." But it's a wonderful example of what the community should have done with this issue. The evidence for BSK and all of them was 100%. Lono, not so much. Um, you had words and accusations, but there wasn't uh, any sort of like evidence and stuff like that. For it was just there was more words, less action. At least from my research, I have not seen any. So there is evidence. Go ahead and feel free to point it out so I can, look at it. But there doesn't seem to be any. And Lono is the only one that's come up with absolutely almost irrefutable evidence on what happened, and he's taking this to court. So my apology is I shouldn't have lumped Lono in the rest with BSK, because yeah, should have probably waited a little bit and made two separate videos talking about two separate things and gathered more information, and probably just waited, waited in general. But I guess I was thrown into the fact that it's like every other streamer and YouTuber is making a video, and I'm a streamer and I'm YouTube, so people are going to be honestly curious in where I stand on these subjects. So I'm going to make another video just shortly on what I stand for and what I don't stand for. Just so people know that this channel is safe, so people know, what my content and why I'm streaming. Um, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this. Uh, I know this involves a whole lot more than people want to hear, and it's what happens when you have been listening to all sides of the story. I'm a man, and a man can admit when he should have done something a little bit differently. I don't have any pride when it comes to that. I'm willing to say, hey, I messed up. I shouldn't have lumped a apple with a grape, when the apple obviously is a bigger issue and the grape is still to be determined. So, and in case people are wondering what that means, Lono is the grape, and I have to show grace as a Christian, and it's not just I have to, I want to, because it's like people make mistakes, and this world is going to react how the world is. And as a Christian, I'm not like the world. I'm not. I can hate evil, but the people that do that evil, I want them to know Jesus. I want them to know Christ. That is what I want, because I want them to be saved. There is hope. That's what this channel stands for. It's hope. That, for the people, and even in BSK, there's still hope. To the world, there is no hope, because the world is failing. It's falling. It's dying. The world is no hope. The people that are not saved they're going to react how they're going to react. So that is what this is, and y'all have a wonderful day, and God bless.